I was gonna say hi everybody. I haven't actually gotten my setup sorted out yet today. There we go. A little quick on-the-fly OBS adjustment before we get stuck in here. There we go. All right. Good morning. It is Sunday. We should have a interesting stream for us today. We're continuing the misadventures of the STELLARIS Directorate, and we're in a pre-coffee state. I slept in, I've got my coffee going, but it hasn't delivered yet. And we're going to go over what we have. We have not only Black Eagles these days, but we have a proper bee for all of your emote spam needs. This is the base game version of Stellaris, and Stellaris, of course, let me change the music level. As usual, whenever I boot up Stellaris to play, I'm impressed by how awesome the music is, but also how fucking loud the whole thing is compared to, yep, there we go. Thank you, Apple Pear. That's exactly what I was thinking. It always seems to reset to getting really loud. Hopefully that's a little bit better for everybody. What do I mean by good morning? Well, it's like 1 p.m. here, which for me is pretty morning-ish, being as I prefer to be sort of nocturnal. Have I tried Endless Space 2? No, I haven't, actually. I am interested in that. So we're going to take a little look here at what's happening in the zoom my camera in a bit more. Small corners are showing. You're right, they are. Let's do that. There we go. There's still one little corner showing. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Now I think we're in business. Looks that way. Pre-caffeine streaming. Alright, so we're going to do an overview of where we left off. This is a save of Stellaris that I paused on at the end of the last stream. So we're going to go through here and just see what is happening before we get stuck in. So, as you guys may or may not remember, we have been playing this game only on stream, and we've been doing it for a few weeks now. So we are the STELLARIS Directorate, which is a oligarchy, which is obsessed with mining and robots doing mechanical things. They are pacifists and fanatic materialists. We're thinking about actually shifting away from pacifism this playthrough, but we don't have enough of a militarist citizenship to actually pull that off yet. What else is what is it that there's relevant about the STELLARIS? The STELLARIS are industrious, they are thrifty, they live on rocks. They are lazy, sedentary, and they are repugnant. So basically, we want to be left alone to mine and get rich in peace. And for some reason, we're misunderstood, and everybody hates us because we're ugly and lazy when we're not mining. There were immediately jokes about how we're basically playing Goonswarm right from the get-go, and that's hard to argue with. So what did we do? Last time we fought a war, we have these fucking Geico geckos over here, and they have, hello Sally, they've been in the way of our ambitions, the Baksharan. These guys are now getting attacked by the Grolferp. So here are these two honor-bound, this is a weird thing, we're playing pacifists, and this game we have honor-bound warriors who are fanatic militarists, right here. And over here, we have these fucking caterpillars. These are the guys that we fought a war against. They had a frontier outpost here. We blew it up last time. These motherfuckers are fanatic authoritarian militarists. Noticing a theme here. When we fought this war to get this colony here, actually the Gecko Aquarium, that's the colony that we picked up. We didn't even want this planet, but these guys started a fucking war right by us. So we ended up fighting back and winning. They tried to siege our most northern outpost, which is Amar Prime. Amar Prime is a fantastic little world. Anyway, so these fucking caterpillars, we basically beat the shit out of these guys down here last time, and these guys came up here and sieged Damar, and we had some adventures or misadventures with, oh my god, we didn't set up our armies appropriately. Um, but we persevered, and we won, and we earned the Gecko Aquarium for our trouble. Meanwhile, these fucking starfish people, who are, if we're honest with ourselves, they're adorable. I mean, just listen to that. I think there's a way that I could like click on them to make them do the like hello noise more often. But anyway, the little starfish people are again militarists. We are surrounded by militarists at every level. These guys are spiritualists. So what's interesting about the Blessed Dis alliance is that these guys expanded, I believe, into these 2 planets over here while we were busy kicking the shit out of the Shabtak and the Geico Geckos. So while we were hanging out and doing our pacifist war thing, these jerks came and got in the way of everything. So that's essentially where we are. We turned off some of our science ships because we were at war, and the pesky thing about a war is it means that for like 10 years, you can't actually... not for 10 years. The pesky thing about a war is that your borders count as open with the people you're trying to kill, so your science ships will like run in there and be really stupid about it. These guys over here are working. Right. So let's get stuck in. I think, is there a major difference in the additions of Stellaris? Yes, actually there's going to be a Stellaris expansion coming very soon. Which is probably going to confuse the hell out of everything. It's called Apocalypse and lets you blow up or imprison planets, which we're all big fans of here. Let's check our situational log, see if there is anything that we've missed out on. Fainov, that's right. So we have a couple of science opportunities. We're going to have our scientists here just scamper around the galaxy and work on the rest of that one. These scientists are doing that. Okay, so somebody's got to get up there and handle that. Good. That's a plan. Meanwhile, in the Geico Gecko land, we're doing good on minerals. In fact, we have more minerals and power than we know what to do with. We're pretty much just stupidly powerful in terms of our economy, which is the way it should be. Let's take a look at our planets and make sure that everything is in order with our recently captured Gecko Aquarium. What's the build queue like here? We actually don't have much of a build queue. Okay, so we need to get stuck in and make sure that this planet doesn't suck ass. These, I mean, we weren't planning on owning a whole bunch of geckos, and they are full citizens, so because we're not slaving fanatic assholes or anything like that. But these guys aren't terribly happy because we conquered the shit out of them. We're going to build a couple of defense armies here, if the planet can even sustain it, because that'll help deal with the unrest. The armies already have things mostly under control, but you can never be too sure. These guys are not going to be very good at mining. I might just turn this world into a turn it into a power station world, as it were. These guys are probably destined for being into a sector, but we ended up getting a Imperial Prerogative Ascendancy perk, so we don't have to worry about sectors. Yay! Let's see. Build a mine there. I'll sort of keep that going. So there are some mods that were mentioned last time that are actually, oh good, we can get planetary capitals. Look at that. We have all sorts of things we can do. And this poor bastard over here is a recent immigrant to this planet where not too much is going on. And he has nothing to work on. So that's not good. Let's give him something to do. Sure. Mining network, and then after that we'll upgrade to capital, and then, yeah, so there's actually a ton of things. The thing about this game is that cleaning up after war is kind of a pain. Not because there's actually a mess, but like your focus, at least in my experience during war, is quite intense, and you're not going like, oh hey. Amar also got the shit bombed out of it. This planet is a mess because during that war, we had to build up a million like robotic defense armies. There was an orbital bombardment. We lost our space yard, as you can see here, and actually, yeah. So we need to rebuild all of the things that we otherwise would have had before Amar got the shit kicked out of it. The Gecko Aquarium is ready to get some solar panel networks in observatory. That's good. We like to have observatories on everything, just because of the science and the sensor output, and we just researched these, which is why we're able to just spam them everywhere, which is good. I blame Mittani for these dozens of hours I've lost in this game. Yeah, Stellaris is basically like, if you like strategy or you like analysis, it's basically crack cocaine, which is pretty cool. Let's take a look at our fleets. We have a missile-based empire this go-round. We're researching a bunch more things to branch it out a bit. We have okay deflectors. We might want to be swapping over to mass drivers. We have quantum missiles, so we've actually reached level 4 missiles in some areas. That's pretty cool. I didn't know we'd gotten that far. That must have been something we were doing in the world. We aren't even... Oh, we actually are at the point where we have cruisers now. We have unlocked cruiser tech, so we're going to be able to build our first cruiser that hopefully doesn't blow ass. Let's take a look at that. Let's go ahead and... Do we have a carrier core? We do. Okay. So we're going to build a cruiser today. And what are we going to call it? I have to actually think creatively here for a moment. That's always dangerous. We'll think about that in a second. One of the things I like to do with cruisers, especially because some of our enemies are, in fact, our enemies have missiles. We just have shitty scout ships at the moment, but we're going for, yeah, broadside bow, and we could go with a torpedo bow, but our torpedoes haven't really advanced. This is just like baby's first cruiser. We're going to get rid of all of these shitty missiles. Yeah, that's right, coil guns. So we are sort of headed towards learning our way around how to missile appropriately. Our biggest issue is that our reactors kind of suck. And one of the rules of Stellaris is that you always put your... I didn't know this last time around, but I did some serious nerd shit. We don't also have shield capacitors yet, which sucks. We need to get that shit fixed. Upgrade all of our things here. Is when you're building anything with like shields, which is all of your ships should have shields, you put your power in your large slots and then your shield boosters in your medium slots. Looks like we're actually doing okay on power. The reason why I expected us to not be okay on power is that I'm used to having shield capacitors there, and they don't seem to have them. Oh, how big is this? 40. We are actually over. I could get rid of one of these. No, I couldn't. Never mind. Because that's large. Please put afterburners on it because it's something. And we will call this, and our, let's see. Well, really, it's an escort carrier. Because until we actually boost our technology a bit, it's kind of shit. And it's our first like point defense and using fightercraft technology. Yeah, the random research fans the lost is one of the most interesting things about it, because you can't just always have the same tech tree. You have to make interesting decisions at every level. And hello, Kate Felmont. All right. Let us go ahead over here and take a look. So we haven't, one of the things is that our naval capacity is pretty maxed out, but now that we actually have cruisers, we have a template to work on. We're going to want to replace all of our, well, not all of our destroyers. Our destroyers are still useful. Let's look at our destroyer design. We went to this war and we pulled off a bunch of shit. Once you get cruisers, you want to change your destroyers typically to having a more of a picket ship kind of angle. The picket ship bow for this ship set looks kind of funny, but where we're going with this is when you actually have cruisers, which are extremely expensive in this game. Like, they're a huge step up, but you want to make sure that you can actually defend them, and that means you need point defense such that you can deal with any kind of incoming missiles, any kind of incoming fighter craft, all that fun stuff. So by our rule of we put our power in our biggest slots first, then we go and we backfill with shields, and we'll put afterburners on this, even though we don't really care too much. Let's see. Alright, and then auto upgrade is there. And so now we have a totally new design for our destroyers that are going to serve as picket ships. I'll just keep them named that way, fuck it. These guys don't change too much. They don't really have any spare power. They have afterburners now, which is nice, but whatever. We're going to basically stop building as many corvettes. These guys over here at Xairis are going to upgrade, and that's going to be a pretty expensive upgrade for us, but we don't really care. We have 28 destroyers. That's good. Alright, let's take a look at our research. We're looking at an energy grid. That's one of the things I remember from last week that was weird, is that we don't actually have energy grids. Energy grids give you a massive bonus to everything that's on your planet's power production. And we have lots of power. It would just be better if we had more, which is a very Eve kind of attitude to have. So we're going to jack up the speed here a little bit. From a political perspective here, while our things are running around and doing stuff, we're stuck here in a truce until 2251. So we have another however many years before we can kill these guys. And now that the Bactrians have lost so many fleets, these are the Geico Geckos. Fuck you. These guys have higher military than them, so hopefully they'll start killing each other.
Special project complete.
Alrighty. We collected some rodents. This guy is also busy collecting aliens next door for that weird special project, so we're going to go survey the system here. So the Gralferp, who are these guys who are killing these, actually, yeah, these dudes who are killing here, have entered into a non-aggression pact with these guys. More honor, that's right, I remember these. See, look, honor-bound warriors, everything in this galaxy is martial except for us. Pretty much literally, like, we don't know anybody who isn't a martial group. But we now have the opportunity to expand past the Shabtak here into this area. So we'll probably work on developing that a bit. Let's see where we go. Alright, we've got all of our planets building. I think my coffee is ready.
Construction complete.
I should make a rule, especially after streaming, to never stream until like 2 or 3 p.m. my time. Because, especially after Saturday night, it's like, oh, getting up and streaming at 1 p.m.? Who would do that? Lord Zizo42, been a while, dude. Good to see you.
Construction complete.
Used to comment on a regular basis on the meta shows.
Construction complete.
Alright, let's see what we got. Okay, so we haven't actually finished going through and examining all the things that we can do. We have tons of upgrades available. And we have a recent migrant, because Xairis, our capital planet, has tons of stuff. And people are just racing away from Xairis. We're going to build over here. Do we not have a mineral processing plant? We don't have a mineral processing plant. Interesting. We're doing okay on cash. But I'm going to build this here and have him come here. So by the time that's done, he'll be ready, and then we're just going to upgrade all the mining networks. Behind that, that's a physics lab. And then This is me just like keeping the, because I've got so many minerals here, I want to just keep the planetary queue busy, so I don't have to worry about the day-to-day. This guy's part of a shitty faction that should feel bad, and that is why they have bad happiness. Our geckos are doing their thing. We're still flush with cash. I think I'm saving up money to do some terraforming here, because I've finally got the ability to do terraforming. That's what we want to do with these guys. It's a gene clinic, and we need somebody to actually be working there. How did this happen? I screwed something up. Oh, that's right, I built this in advance. How did this screw up happen? Because I did it, and I wasn't paying attention. Over here on Null, things are in general pretty good. We just need to upgrade all of this stuff. Once that's done, this guy here is going to be basically done with it. These guys, these two tiles, we're going to replace with. Oh, we already have a mineral silo here. Having to do all this thinking, that's right. We do have a mineral processing plant here, which means this is going to be just another mine when we get around to it. 1 to Q1, we just handled. Poitot could use some love. Let's get rid of that because more power is good. And look at this guy, he's got absolutely nothing going on in his square. We'll build a processing plant there. So mining is really just like minerals are everything in Stellaris, and it doesn't really seem to change which edition you're playing. Minerals continue to just be everything in this game. They're what allow you to have fleets. They let you do basically everything. And so that's why we're like, oh, hey, we need to just have more mining networks, more minerals before we really focus on anything involving science or whatever else. So here we are, we're busy building this colony, and Xyrus is our homeworld, which can actually do a ton of upgrades, holy shit. One of these I think I should actually turn into a mineral processing plant. I find one of my squares that has the least amount of oomph for it. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we're going to upgrade all the other things. So we're going to see, hopefully, a huge leap forward in our mineral production across our empire. Now you're going to watch me play Stellaris while dealing with the crisis? That's cool. Alright, so let's take a look at this. So we got energy grid, that's good. Physics Lab 2, blue laser. Already an upgrade to the energy nexus. That's tempting because of our research ability. Blue lasers are also tempting though because they will eventually let us unlock disruptor torpedoes and a bunch of other things, and it's relatively cheap. Better point defense system. How are we doing on physics? Our physics is a little bit weak. How long will that take though? I think we're going to do the laser thing. It might not be the most advantageous thing in the world, but I think we really need to diversify our military because we are surrounded by militarists. So if we get... Sir, I wasn't a big fan of you since you were associated with this group at EVE Online, i.e. Goonswarm, but you like Stellaris. Okay, well, congratulations. If you didn't like us because we were collectively part of Goonswarm, there's not too much I can do about this, but I think everybody who likes EVE Online loves Stellaris. It's just sort of a natural thing. Ecological adaptation looks pretty good, but on the other hand, we're going to be at war with everybody, and that's a really cheap 6-month train, so we're gonna just do that. And we have a tradition available. That's pretty cool. All right, so now we've got to think. Let's take a look at our factions. I'd be tempted actually to go Harmony because we're kind of growing explosively. But we're going to take a look at our factions because these guys are important for having happiness and sort of controlling and having power. So this is our militarist group. And we actually wanted to adopt the militarist group because these guys would allow us to kill people better. When they get up to 20%, we can actually shift this. So these guys typically have a demand of some kind, traditional supremacy. So if we adopt a supremacy tradition, we're going to have the ability to make these guys happy, and that might be useful for us because then we'll get more influence. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at our traditions. Supremacy is the instantly increases our borders by 20%, and then it is the just like building ships and conquering shit territory, which is good. The alternative is growth speed. This has a lot of useful impacts, like in terms of governing ethics and increasing lifespans and making everybody happy and all this harmony crap. Prosperity could be nice. Domination is our like subjugation, running vassals, and this is like making nice with people. So we can beat the shit out of people. We can get rich. We can have harmony, which means that we have like less internal division within our group. But 20% border range and making a faction happy is something I think we're going to do. Because when it comes down to it, we are planning on shifting and using this 500 influence. We're planning on shifting to militarist, and the more that we expand our borders, the more stuff we have. Look at that. So our construction ships are about to have a lot more to do. Hopefully. Because suddenly all this territory that was not in our zone is about to creep out and become claimed by us. That's the hope. So what else do we got? Look at that. This place is now within our territory, and it has a lot of utility, including this terraforming liquids. Thank you, border expansion. Also, rule here has is now in our territory directly. Let me see about terraforming. I'm trying to remember if there was a planet that we were terraforming last time. That's not what I need. I need expansion planner. And we're going to look specifically for what is good for the Xyrus. What is the largest one that we have available? That's right, Abaka. That's a nice world they've got there. Okay, we can't actually terraform it into something nice like an Arctic world until we have like 5,000, but we're probably going to head in that direction soon. So we'll just keep making money.
Technology secured.
More tech. Alright, now we have armor for our ships, which is nice. Carrier operations. In this version of Stellaris, and this is an important thing, guys, the problem with Stellaris, or the advantage with it, I don't think it's a problem, but some people complain about it, is it changes a lot. What is good for Stellaris right now is not necessarily what's good for Stellaris in the next patch, but carrier fighters are in at the moment. Alright. So this guy is done constructing stuff. There's nothing immediately over here that's in our territory except for this. We're not ready to colonize that. So we're going to have him go build more stuff. Okay, we have a lot of things happening here. So first of all, we've got a primitive alien civilization in the Bronze Age. We have historically in the Xyrus Directorate, at least not in this playthrough, but in another one, we have actually used pre-sapient species as livestock on the colonized on the planets we've colonized, literally just eating them. So here's your fucking Geico Gecko. What does he have to say for himself? He says that we're primitive and stupid. That's why we kicked your ass in the last war. This makes sense. Oh, that's the place we were terraforming. We were, in fact, terraforming somewhere, and I just lost which one it was. Our borders are expanding, their borders are expanding. We're going to crush these people. Alright, that's right. Gekium was the place that we were going to colonize next, and we were terraforming it first. Yeah, the geckos, I think we'll have a lot more fun killing once we get cruiser technology successfully implanted everywhere. Also, we need to upgrade our spaceports. Okay, Happy Gecko, Happy Gecko. He's building there. Cool. Let's take a look at our spaceports. We want to have spaceports because they increase our naval capacity everywhere. We want them to be at level 6 so we can shoot out cruisers everywhere. He's busy working on that. That's good. Alright.
Technology secured. Construction complete.
Alrighty, we have successfully terraformed this place. That's good. Let's build a research station there. Let's see, we finished collecting something or other. Let's go research this. Now that this terraforming is done, we have a planet that is very habitable, that we're big fans of. That's right by Lociar, which we haven't finished colonizing, but we're working on. So Xyris, we're just going to crap out another colony ship. That should be fun. Now the geckos, I actually forgot to do something kind of obvious. No, I didn't. I was going to say that I forgot to build a food output place here, but there aren't any food squares here. Not a single one. Never mind. We have robots to do the whole food thing, but... New faction, Xeno rights, friendly relations with alien species. That's not going to work out very well for you, because everybody hates us because we're really ugly and repugnant. Alright, 10% more ships, that's good. We don't really need more growth speed. It'll be useful in the short term. Naval capacity is good. 15 months until global 10% growth capacity. You know what? I think we're going to do it. Cloning unlocks a lot of interesting things. Good. Our empire is starting to knit together in terms of its borders. These guys have rebuilt their frontier outposts, one of which we destroyed in the war. Let's see about our faction support. Okay, so this is unfortunate because the number of people being militaristic is slowly declining, and we wanted to be militarists. These guys are now much more happy. We could promote the faction. Which actually is probably a reasonable thing to do. If we want to turn into militarists and we want to just get a few people becoming like militarists, we're going to do this. So we're going to get angry and start killing everybody because I, of all people, should not be playing a pacifist game. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're promoting these guys now. And more importantly, we should have militarist attraction here. Yep. Fuck these xenophiles. This will cost influence, but war is more important than influence. the fact that I can't just instantly go crush these people. They've got all these pesky treaties. Of course, the treaties are going to be done in like 2 more years, but...
Sphere of influence expanded.
There we go. Got our new little colony over here. So step 1 whenever we build a new colony is we're going to make a new spaceport. And we're going to build a couple of defense armies. And down here on the surface, let's go ahead and get some stuff built. So we start with 2 pops because of one of our advantages. We're going to start building a farm robot because that's what we do. And we're going to look for a place that we can build a autochthon monument. And we're going to move this guy there for when that's done. So he'll have that. And then the next person we're going to do will be cloning vats over here, a gene clinic. Wrong tile. There we go. So usually get a Unity monument, start building robots, and get our gene clinics up. And build a spaceport.
Construction complete.
Good timing here because the colony ship is going to be done just after we finished building that other colony. You can go build there. Let's see. How do we build a... Actually, wait a second. You could build a observation post just to watch the natives and do whatever they do. But all these systems that are about to be ours due to our border expansion. That's excellent. Let's see. Not too much for him to do currently. I think we're just going to put the science ship on Auto Explorer and see what happens. Actually, that's a bad place for him to go Auto Explorer. Let's manually tell him to go over here, and then we'll have him Auto Explorer later.
Special project complete.
Alright. We have finished our special project. We have now collected alien specimens.
Star system charted. Construction complete.
Are we there yet? Okay. We are there, which means that we can... 29% because we have... Oh no, we still need 2 more. We need to get 20% of our population to actually become this. Suddenly all these things to build. Get working on that. Not too much going on up here in terms of crazy science shit, but let's have you research over here. We can turn on automated research, and in fact we'll do that right now, because... Oh wait, why are you going over there? Sometimes the AI for automated research leaves me wondering what the fuck. Okay, there we go.
Construction complete.
Hello, boys and girls. Let's see, construction complete. I need my coffee. I've actually just started streaming without having coffee yet. Okay, so we've finished building our colony ship. We're going to have him go over here. Let's see, where do we want to have this place? There, looks pretty good. It'll be a paranoid node. It'll suppress some of the earnings there. This might actually be a better place because of the bonuses to adjacency. We'll do that. What do I do if I want to join Goons, but one of my tunes is blacklisted for an OTEC theft years before I purchased the tune? First of all, in Goonstorm we don't refer to them as tunes, so that would be something to be wary of. Yeah, if you knew that it was blacklisted for an OTEC theft, but you're calling it a tune, that's just kind of weird. And you can reach out to a diplomat to see about getting unblacklisted, or reach out to an
Situation log updated.
But get mommy's toonies for my iskies. Oh, look, salty. Let's see. Zyron's Stellar Salt. Okay. We have literally found salt mines. There's so many Eve jokes I can make here, it's not even funny. Salty modifier, giving everybody a plus 5% to happiness. Very savory. Okay. Drayden says Eve is a social prison nobody can escape from. There was that dude that, they might have talked about this on Tying In Stations this week. I don't know, but there's that Path of Exile streamer who is comparing Eve to being like a lifestyle and being kind of a cult, and I thought that was quite interesting. We're going to put you on Auto Explorer because this shit is bananas. We don't need the tutorial.
Construction complete.
There we go. We have an observation post now. I've never built an observation post before, so I don't actually know what it does. This is where we stare down on the natives. We're getting society research basically by watching these guys. We can change our policies and just start fucking with them. We can pay stuff to try to enlighten and uplift these guys. Or we can do some crazy Ian Banks culture shit and do covert infiltration. I love how complicated Stellaris is. It's not just like, oh hey, here's some random natives. It's like, oh, you have all these policies and here are all these things that we can do. Aggressive observation. This mission can have unintended consequences. What do these guys look like? They look really ugly. Fungoids. They are adaptive fungoids. Interesting. It's in my blood. Whatever game I play, I have to make myself a strong and huge empire. It is kind of like wired into my personality.
Construction complete.
For good or for ill, that isn't necessarily a good or a healthy thing, but it's definitely a thing. All right, so this construction ship is done for now. We're gonna have it build some mining stations because we have all this new stuff and all this new territory. These construction ships are gonna be busy over here in a bit because we expanded our borders, which means we get more shit. Okay, we have carrier fighters that don't suck now. Let's fix this. I think I am going to be going the railgun route, just to sort of catch up. Deep space stations are interesting because they eventually lead to mega structures, kinetic weapon damage, living metal. Living metal is important also if you want to build mega structures, but I'm going to go for railguns for now. So how much ooh make off RMT? Smiley face question. I was wondering when we were going to get some sort of troll. It turned out that there was this big like Reddit mob that's like coming after me was attempted. Hasn't really come after me because it was created on a Discord. There's a B-Control Discord and there's a Pandemic Horde Discord, and those guys are hanging out there trying to gin up a, Mittani loves bots thing that's going on. But there's a difference between okay, so what do we want? Do we want shields? Shields are good, plasma throwers are good. The reason we want disruptors, I think, is that they'll let us start getting energy torpedoes, and then we can put the torpedo bow on our cruisers. Normally you would go for shields, but I'm not feeling normal today. I read it mob, not mod. Noise Gamer. But yeah, when you have like a real hate mob that's coming after you, and I know because mobs come after me on a pretty regular basis because of internet spaceship games, which makes perfect sense. When it's something that's artificial, like if it's just hey, let's get everybody to upvote something in a coordinated way from a Discord, you don't get death threats. When you actually have a real mob, which is still just as shitty and just as stupid from everyone who's involved in it, you have people threatening your life in the real world because people and mobs are fucking animals.
Updated.
Where was that Cyrex thing? But yeah, they're like brigading all this stuff, and I'm just gonna double down on it. I mean, there's really nothing to apologize for. In fact, everybody who's involved in this mob trying to twist things that I say is a person who should feel bad. They are guilty. They have things that they should feel shitty about. Their behavior in the mob, their behavior in the game is pathetic, and it's because they're weak as people. I think they suspect that they could get me to apologize for something I should not apologize for if they just get enough upvotes and make gifs of me as being Agent Smith. I always liked Agent Smith in the Matrix movies. But yeah, if upvotes won wars, Goonswarm would have been destroyed a long time ago. What do we got to do over here in Poitot? This one here. Do we have an energy grid yet on the system? No, we don't have an energy grid on the system yet. We're going to do that. Build an energy grid and have this go over there. That is actually one of the biggest issues we're going to have, is a lack of energy grids, because that's something that we should have had a long time ago. So I'm going to upgrade one of these power plants into an energy grid, because we researched that technology really late in sort of the history of this race. Normally you would have had that a long time. He's building an energy grid, that's good. This guy's colonizing. These are good locations for energy grids, blank squares, because that way you're not interfering with any resources. So we'll build that, and then we'll upgrade that. We need an energy grid over here. I'll cancel that and build a energy grid. So these are like global bonuses to our energy, like with the mining silos. Okay, so we got a planetary capital, which means we can now upgrade the shit out of everything here. That's good. This building has been deactivated for no reason. I should activate it. And upgrade it. We have more than enough farming bots here. Agent Smith is also Elrond. Yeah. Oh, it's a bright Will Smith. Agent Smith is a bright with the wand. That was actually a pretty good movie. I liked Bright. That's another unpopular opinion for the Reddit mob to be pissed off about. I thought Bright was actually good and entertaining. It was a Bad Boys style cop movie set into the Shadowrun universe, and all like Will Smith cop movies are basically the same, and none of them are like Shakespeare. So what the fuck do you expect? What happened? Oh god. Negative balance. That's right, because we have a colony going on.
Construction complete.
Lots of construction. Okay, well, we're going to send these guys over here to start building a million freaking mining stations. And same deal with this one. Mining stations. Get some of those rare resources up here. And what do we got? Growth modifiers, so we'll be able to clear out some tile blockers. Leader stuff. Orbital hydroponics we don't really need because they cost money. That's the problem with these farms. It's like, yay, you have more food, which you don't really need. We have more food than we know what to do with. I think we're going to go ahead and go for the leader pool stuff. The cheap version because it's not all that great. We're going to shoot our first person. We actually don't really get to shoot people too often on Stellaris streams of all things. But when you have like some random ass low effort troll coming here being like, don't you think you should be apologizing for things that I'm intentionally misrepresenting because I'm a shitlord? Well, we're getting to commissar you for our collective amusement. The nice things about running a space autocracy is that there is no freedom of speech. There is no due process. There is only what the state wants. So when people come from outside of Goonswarm and they hang out on our channels and they expect that there's going to be some sort of expectation of democracy. I wasn't actually paying attention to that guy commenting too much. Like the RMT comment he made was kind of funny, and then I was paying attention to Stellaris, so I missed whatever he said after that.
Found.
Alright, let's research that.
Construction.
Alright, well actually this is a perfect timing for me to go and get some coffee. I made coffee right at the start. We're at the 1 hour mark. I'm going to pause the game briefly and grab some coffee. There we go. Now we have coffee. What do I put in coffee? Nothing. I just drink my coffee black. Coffee does not need help. Yeah, it was already made. I actually started the pot before the stream started, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna be late. But yeah, it is interesting. Like, if you're in the middle of an actual controversy, which, unfortunately, I've been in the middle of lots of controversies. Or fortunately, I guess it's sort of a, whatever you think. Oh, this is the old gods thing, which will potentially make my empire more spiritualist, which I don't want.
Construction complete.
A real mob is a hell of a lot more violent. I mean, it's really not a... Oh, this is interesting. Look at this. So in this war, seed planet, seed planet, seed planet, seed planet, humiliate. Wow, look at that. It looks like the Bakhasharans just completely lost everything that they had to the Gralfarb. Okay, we've got a marvel of nature here. Inspired science recruits. Wow. So the Bakhsharans now only have a frontier outpost. They don't have a single planet? Is that even possible? Okay, well, alas, ye geckos, I knew ye well. So it's these guys who are inferior. Their naval capacity is equivalent, but everything else sucks. But yeah, The point is that one of the interesting things about Reddit, I think, and social media platforms, and we saw this really with the presidential election in this most recent go round in the United States, is you can see when there's a controversy that's been sort of created artificially, like in a Discord. So now you have guys who are in like this B control Discord. Um, which is their let's blow up mining drones in Gunstorm space, and let's also try to slander the Mittani whenever we can. They're just not very good at it. So they're sitting there and they're hanging out in a Discord and they're brigading on Reddit, which is something that is always struck me as one of the core hypocrisies of Reddit, is that everybody brigades on Reddit all the time, but you're totally not supposed to do it. And the very people who brigade against Goonswarm all the time are just shocked. They're so offended at the idea of anybody else brigading, but they're hanging out in a Discord trying to come out with ways to come at me, as if our spy network isn't going to figure this out. So, whatever. They are weak, and that's what they get. But we have coffee. I think it's about time for us to start building some cruisers. Let's go ahead and upgrade our ships a little bit more. Yes, next Reddit thread. Black coffee is bad. The Mittani likes black coffee, and thus we can't like black coffee anymore. I'm going to get rid of the artificially created design, and we're going to use bomber wings for this, because bombers are awesome in this game. We don't yet have the ability to do a... Well, we can try a torpedo bow and see what happens. I just don't think we have any good torpedoes. Yeah, our torpedoes kind of suck. We will eventually, once we get energy torpedoes, want to do this kind of a setup. But for now, we're going to go back to a broadside. Actually, I'm going to cancel out of this and go back to the original design here. We're going to replace that with the bomber wing because we have the upgrade and we've got the power for it. I wish we had a shield capacitor, but we simply haven't researched the capacitor lets you quick recharge your shields. Nothing else relevant has really happened here. We do have armor, which is nice, so we could potentially get rid of one of our shield things and replace it with Tech 2 armor. We could potentially replace some of these things with railguns once we have them, but it's just not worth it. So we've upgraded our bomber wings. We're going to overwrite the design, and we haven't actually built any of these damn things yet, so we've got to change that. And yeah, it's about time for us to start crapping out some fucking cruisers. And they take 4 each, so you have, let's see, room for about 4 of them. This is the perk of having tons of minerals, is you can just be like, hey, I'm just going to shit out an entire carrier fleet, or cruiser fleet. So when Will Smith said Pixie lives don't matter, what was that? Yeah, it's a joke because there's a Black Lives Matter movement in the United States, which in theory is controversial. It really shouldn't be controversial, but in the United States, in many ways, there are theories of, instead of talking about economic classes, I've heard that in Europe there's more discussions about like economic class.
Construction
but
complete.
Race is often a proxy for class in the United States, so most of the American discourse about class gets filtered through any kind of discussion of race.
Construction complete.
That's just messy. But yeah, that was a joke about American politics, which is probably why it made no sense to anybody not in Freedom Land. Now that's a pretty good planet. Look at that. Look at that. We will gladly take these terraforming liquids. Or Ergos vapor. It's good.
Technology secure.
Any particular brand of coffee? Not really. I used to actually be much more serious about coffee, and then I realized that if I just put enough I mean, this is gonna piss off some people. Like, I used to really be like, oh, I like coffee, you know, I'd get nice coffee or whatever like that. But it turns out that if you just make Folgers coffee really fucking strong, like if you just get a big tub of fucking pre-ground Folgers and you just scoop a lot of that shit in your coffee machine, I like really strong coffee, and I like coffee so strong that after a certain point you probably can't even really taste it. Well, I mean, I can taste it, but really just strong Folgers dark is quite good, and it's what I'll drink on a regular basis. I'm not... You'd think I would be a coffee snob, but, welp. This will help with our terraforming adventures. Gene mods or terraforming? I kind of want to start tinkering with the genetics of the Xyrus. I think that would be fun. We're going to do that. Now, we can, in theory, go to war again. We were at war with the geckos, but we killed the geckos. Oh, or actually, the Grolferp killed the geckos. So let's see if we can become militarists yet. Only 16% of our populations are doing it, unfortunately. We're still not there. We're like promoting these guys.
Special project complete.
Research on the Cybrex continues. Ah, now this is apparently the fun thing. We have officially gone through and done all the Cybrex stuff. And so we have Cybrex Prime. Now, I had heard from one of our viewers, I think it was Azur and Argent, pointed out that getting the Cybrex tree was good because it would allow us to go through and find Cybrex Prime, where like a Ringworld is.
Situation log updated.
Let's see where this is. Where is Cybrex
Anomaly
Alpha?
found.
Alright, you research that. Let's see where this is. Oh wow, that's really convenient. I'll take it. Let's have you... Where's my nearest science ship? You're doing an anomaly. Why don't you just come over here right now and survey Cybrex Alpha? That will take you a long time to get over there, but whatever. Are you a Star Wars fan? Yes, Sanctuary is Ringworld and it is near me. I'm just not ready to go after it yet. Alright, Star Wars fan in addition to EVE Online. I like pretty much anything involving spaceships. Like, I'm kind of a all-access spaceship nerd. So yeah, I like Star Wars. I'm not one of those guys who will argue with you about how every Star Wars movie was wonderful and perfect and how no Star Wars movies have flaws. I have met those guys before and they're a little bit tedious to talk to.
Technology secured.
But I like Star Wars. I have always liked Star Wars. Battleships! Ooh, okay, we can jump on battleships now. It's a little early. I wasn't expecting to get the battleship tech already, but it is kind of important, so... Let me see if I can... If I start working on it, that's like years. Do I have anybody who can do Voidcraft? Yes. And he's just like an extra scientist hanging out that I recruited somewhere along the line. So I think we're going to have him come research that. Actually, because he's such a shitty scientist compared to the other guy, he's bad at it, so never mind. Let's get Zaz back in there. 77. The other guy might level up in the process of doing it, though. 77. 73. Apparently I can't actually do math. This is actually... 77 is slower than 73. Her. Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm actually gonna build a new science ship because it turns out I have a spare scientist lying around. Oh, actually, I'm gonna build it somewhere else. I'm already crapping out ships as fast as I can here. We'll do it on Poitot. Let me make sure I've even upgraded my science ships recently. Alright, they are... No, they haven't been upgraded. They need to be set to auto-update, and apparently they have failed to do that. That's kind of lame. What kind of auto-upgrade do you think this is? I guess it's auto-upgrading down there. This is a power issue. Got some deflectors on there. Now we should probably have all of our science ships upgrade. I don't know if this one is actually going to be doing the right kind. We'll do that. Cool. And that way we'll have a ship for our spare scientists to hop into. How should I address you? Do you prefer Mittani or the Mittens is usually easier? Oh no! We failed a 5% anomaly. That's a shame. You can address me as Mittens usually works. Mittens is a lot easier to have a normal conversation around rather than being called the Mittani.
Construction complete.
The Mittani. Okay, so we have our science ships. Whoa!
Complete.
Old gods. We can make money, we can get society research, or we can shift towards spiritualist. Well, fuck that, because we're materialists. Do we want influence? Do we want money? I think we want money. Mittens, do you know all the I want ISK bankers? Is that info of interest to me? What does that even mean? Like, the I want ISK bankers or something that happened a long ass time ago. Is this like random people from the B control group come and try to like...
Sphere of influence expanded.
Interesting. Okay, Gekatim has been built here. We're going to build ourselves a spaceport. We're going to use missiles this time. And we're going to do the same song and dance routine that we did before. This is a good location for a gene clinic. Actually, this is a good location for a gene clinic because it has society research on it. And this next one here will be a good location for a autochthon monument. And then over here, we're going to start the production of our farm bots. The nice thing about being rich as hell is that we can just start building farm bots one after the other, such that that queue just continues. Did I make the Mittani based on the old civilization? Yes, actually. It was an old Vampire the Masquerade character that was like one of the last Mittani from that. That's because I was studying ancient law at college. Okay. Scientist here is apparently going to go, oh, that's nice. We have expanded with the crushing of the geckos. Our borders are expanding into territory that we didn't have before. So this new one, new science ship, we're going to get Zaz
Star system
into it.
charted.
We don't have database uplinks yet, but that doesn't matter, and we'll set him on Auto Explorer. What was will be, what will be was. What species ship skins are you using? I'm using the, I think these are the molluscoid ones. I have gotten from, there we go, put you on Auto Explorer. Actually, I might want to have you go upgrade your ship because a lot of these science ships have crap on them. I have the humanoids pack, and I've downloaded the Kurogane as well as the tall white ships ship mods, and they're really pretty. Ship mods are pretty awesome as far as Stellaris goes. This is not a worm playthrough, but my personal game with Osiris, that is not the streamed game with Osiris, is like a full Horizon Signal embracing the worm thing. Okay, so the Cybrex changed their minds about being AI destroying assholes. They retreated to this Ringworld, and got the Ringworld blown up to rubble. Whoa! 10,000, look at that, 10,000 Unity, and a bunch of energy credits. Cool. So how do we fix this? Wow. Well, shit just got real, boys and girls. Shit just got real. We own a Ringworld that we didn't have to build. which means that instead of researching megastructures, oh, we still need to get mega engineering. Well, it's a good start. Look at that. Okay, well, the Xyris are going to be like, fuck you, Ringworld people now. We just have to not ruin everything. That's fascinating. That is really fascinating. I've never built a Ringworld before because we haven't had... Okay, so here we go. We've already done this. We're actually going to get 2 of these in a row. We can get more supremacy stuff, but we really just did supremacy to appease a faction here. None of this crap is something that we're really going to need right now. I think we might actually go harmony. Diplomacy sucks. On the other hand, if I just go through the supremacy thing with 2 more selections, it'll be closer to getting another ascendancy point. So, I don't know. And every time we do this, we make that faction happier, which is nice. What's the final thing? Increase all of our fire rate by 15%. The alternative is just getting pop growth and some of this stuff, because I think we're going to get 2 of these in a row. Let's see. I think we're going to go this way, though. And we get another one. Seed planet war demands are important because then it'll allow us to conquer more stuff with the space of 1 war. So we're going to get a Ringworld, and then we're going to get a war and kill everything. I like it.
Construction complete.
I like it a lot. Meanwhile, we are crapping out as many cruisers as we can. Xyris is continuing to build. Our naval capacity has increased quite a lot. How's our Gecko Aquarium doing? Cool. Over here, we can build more spaceport things. It'll also increase our naval capacity, which means that we can build more cruisers. Working on our Doom stack. Yeah, that is a crazy good precursor race event. That's like, wow, okay, so you have a Ringworld now. Have fun. Let's build some mining outposts.
Star system charted.
Probably get that. Have you upgraded yet? No, you should go do that because I want faster hyperdrives on all my science ships for obvious reasons. I've got a Ringworld. We don't really need to be super militaristic, but we probably want to be anyway because fuck you, that's
Vessels
fine.
upgraded.
Good. Where are we? Yes! Okay, we are finally at a point where we can abandon this pacifism nonsense. We are there. We can now take the Path to Victory committee, and we can embrace the faction. Wait a second, what do you mean support is not greater than 20%? Ow. So it's not just that I have to embrace the faction, but the support of the faction itself needs to be 21% of the people are militarist, and we're waiting for this to be at 20% of the faction itself. Welp. Well, we'll keep waiting then. I'm so eager to be militaristic.
Construction complete.
Never shall I play a pacifist game again. It goes too far against my nature. And look at this. Cyrex Alpha here has greatly expanded our territory. Wua looks like the best planet ever. That's a lot of nice places to build. I'll work on that. We can just fill out this territory here, and everybody else can go fuck themselves. We can start working on terraforming a planet again, because we have tons of space. Kuldrax here looks like a logical place to go, except that there's a fucking automated dreadnought there, which we're gonna have to go kill. And this, I think, was the privateers or something. I forgot what it was. Yeah, Trajan is right. The pacifist route is like winning with religion and civ. It's nice to troll, but that's about it. That's a very good analogy. Okay, so you finished upgrading, and we're going to have you go back to exploring. Our borders keep expanding, so we need to... Speaking of border expansion, I think I can actually just get rid of this frontier outpost here entirely in a bit to free up some more influence, because we have a planet
Construction
right
complete.
there. Stuff is happening. So the Dis have a defensive pact with these guys who don't have anything anymore. That's really weird. How do you have a... These guys, we're just going to have to figure out how to kill these fucking starfish. Infidel bug. Alright. The NSC mod. Yeah, I should check that out. I haven't done that yet.
Vessels upgraded.
The thing about this game is, like, I've spent a tremendous amount of time just, like, experimenting with the early game and playing again and again, rather than... Okay, he's going to do some automated exploration up there. This is going to be the center of the next war. Clearly, taking Java here will cut off their entire empire there in that hyperlane block. And it's just totally vulnerable. They can't reinforce anything unless they're not hyperlane people themselves. So we can just take this and half their empire vanishes. I like the sound of that. Almost there. Every day we wake up and open slam a VHS into the slot. It is the Chronicles of Riddick, and it is waiting until we can get to fucking war. Yeah, you guys need better PR. NSC mod being the new ship class mod. Okay, yes, we are having a negative balance. That's because... Why is that actually? I thought we were done with... Did I miss a memo here? Oh, it's because I've gone on this massive shipbuilding and upgrading spree. That would be why. Gekitum is done. Didn't I build another colony ship somewhere? Literally just like losing colony ships. Let's take a look at our balance sheet here. Station maintenance is most of my things. Oh, that's right, because we're going on this massive construction spree, and every single space thing that we build is a... Ultrasym is promoted. We're salty.
Construction complete.
Let's see what Poitot's doing. Building a pop here, taking our sweet time doing it. Don't really need to be doing anything here for now. OCR is the new colony. It is slowly doing its thing. That's good. We need power in general, so we're going to clear some of these blockers. And then we're just going to wait. chilling. Building. He is waiting and building. Yay, we can upgrade to planetary administration. That was pretty fast. The gene clinic there has helped these guys breed quickly. That's nice. We can build a power plant after that. Amar is doing quite well after suffering that severe orbital bombardment. This guy needs to be doing something with his life. We need an energy grid, though, in the system, don't we? Yep. Get over there. Cool. Yeah, the new upgrade to this game that's coming out, and I can, in fact, I could, in fact, clear that. Okay, it's disruptors. Now, hopefully we can get some energy torpedoes. Disruptors, ion disruptors, somewhere at this point it forks into getting us, letting us get torpedoes. I'm not sure whether I have to do ion disruptors first, or what. I might want to pick databank uplinks just because I've got so many spare scientists and it's small. I think the music is actually at a pretty good level. We already turned down the music a little bit more than before. I don't know, is Wicked Cynic right, guys? Should I turn the music down a little bit more, or is it at a good level? Ion disruptors. I think my mic was just not close enough to my mouth after all this coffee drinking I'm doing. Let's see. Is there big expensive things? My mic was askew, that is correct. Okay. That takes us 65 months. 51. I think I'm going to go for the physics lab upgrade. Meanwhile, over here, we're going to continue to bankrupt our economy by building tons of stations. Actually, we don't need to do that because our borders are expanding and we can pick up a bunch of... holy crap, Epsilon Eridani, look at that. 15 minerals in one system. That's beautiful. Kerbal is within our territory now. Yeah, we're basically just doing this vast expansion spree here because between Cybrex Alpha and conquering this shit, we've got a lot of good things going on. So we're going to have you go over there and do that. I just talk quietly when I think out loud. That's a good point. Like when I'm pointedly like directing a conversation towards people, I use a different tone of voice. I need to build more. I'm going to crap out a construction ship up on Mar Prime. Just because all of this expansion so quickly has resulted in a need. Before we do that, we're going to go to our ship designer and make sure that our construction ship has actually been upgraded correctly. It has. That's good. Okay, good. See you later, Lord Zizo. Alright, we're continuing to build up.
Construction complete.
Like the sound of that. Build a research station. Oh, look at this. These motherfuckers. So we are losing access to science ships because these guys decided to expand their borders out here. They are expanding quite a lot. We're gonna have to kill them. The question is if I'm ready for a war yet. Let's take a look at the Blessed Dis Alliance. Yeah, Infidel Bug. Your fleets suck. If I did declare war on you, I guess I could do this. Or I could do the pacifist kind of war and just liberate them. Let's take a look. I can't do that because our war philosophy doesn't allow me to do that. It's annoying. I could get them to do this because it's a newly built colony, and that's the only kind of war that pacifists can do to begin with. Or I could just not be pacifists if my people would get over it already. Loud noises. That must have sounded horrible. Sorry, guys. We're still waiting and being all militaristic, but these guys are just not there yet. So we're not going to actually get a war against these guys yet. We're going to pause and
Star system charted.
Wait. I don't like waiting, but we're building battleship technology, we're upgrading things, we're racing way past these guys. So we're just going to keep it cool for now. And then we're going to annihilate them. But first, our relentless military buildup.
Construction complete.
2, yeah, that should be about right.
Anomaly found.
I think it takes like a fleet strength of like 20,000 or something for us to be able to take out that automated dreadnought, so it's gonna take a bit. Yeah, sectors are kind of a pain in the ass. We have not set up sectors because we got an Ascension perk that allows us to, speaking of Ascension perks, or not Ascension perks, that allow us to terraforming candidate. Interesting. What was I saying? Oh, sectors, sector management. It's kind of a huge pain in the ass. We don't have to do it because we have an Ascension perk and we have more planets than we know what to do with. But we'll take that. It's one of the challenges. The more you expand, the slower your empire grows in terms of its
complete.
Knowledge base. Interesting. A little research station there. How is Fainov? One of these planets is supposed to be the terraforming candidate. I think we're good with expansion for now.
Power is hailing us.
Oh. Yaxlok, are they going to be honor-bound warriors? Assembly of Nations. Honor-bound warriors! Holy shit! This is ridiculous. I was saying that sarcastically. Everybody in this galaxy is a bunch of really ugly honor-bound warriors. Yeah, okay, so they're a junta, they're an egalitarian militarist group of honor-bound warriors. Sure.
Construction complete.
Okay, so they're over here in eastern Bumfuckistan.
Star system charted.
Got it. Keep this guy going over here. Working on our energy gain. They've closed their borders. We should do the same. Of course, they're out here in eastern Bumfuckistan, so who really cares? They close their borders to us, and then we have to go through our effort of telling them, hey, by the way, we're closing our borders to you.
Star system charted. Construction complete.
Okay. Ooh, This place is pretty crazy. some research stations. Don't have any upgrades there yet.
Construction complete.
Some rivalries going, that's a good idea. Whoa! I hate that noise. That's the you just lost a scientist noise. Okay, well, one of our best scientists is out there, like, doing God knows what. Let's take a look at this. We should probably, let's see what we can do. We should probably pull this guy off of that. These are all like anomaly explorer types. I mean, this is, particles is great for this, so we're actually going to pull him off of studying that in this science ship. We should go do something useful. One of these science ships is empty, and we're going to make a new recruit here. That's good. Roamer. That's the kind of research that we want for a science ship, dude. Much better.
Star system charted.
Okay, this is a building that is doing nothing now because this was a migrant that just up and left. I'll upgrade that to a better biolab. And we're just going to have to wait for Pop to start building on our mining network there. Like so, in the meantime, we can deactivate it. Picked up on that, we picked up on that. We got it, we got it, we got it. Okay, Jesus Christ. A migrant that up and left, that is indeed saying the same thing twice.
Star system charted.
Okay, we're...
Construction complete.
Let's take a look at our Gecko Aquarium. How is that doing? Gecko Aquarium is doing pretty well. Let's upgrade this, that. Let's get rid of the rest of this shit. Let's go ahead and clear that out of the way. Because God knows we have the energy and the power. Speaking of colonies that we built a while ago and forgot about. Do we have our gene clinic? Yes, we do. Gene clinic, that. We have people building things the way that they should be. Have you work on mining. Check in on null, build that upgrade. Especially once our growth speed gets ridiculous, we start having a challenge where you can like look away from your pops for a brief minute or two, and then suddenly you're like, oh, my planet should have all this industry and shit on it, and I totally forgot to do whatever. We're just gonna clear this shit out, because we can. Alright. Whoa, Lorsar. That's right, you had a migrant come join us. Interesting. That'll speed things up here. We can build a farm. Another farm. That's right, that was a tile blocker. Let's build a mine. We don't really care about food that much. Do we have a gene clinic on this planet yet? We do. We can upgrade our administration, that's good. We have so much building to do here, oh my god. Oh my god. What do we want to have this guy do? Decisions. I guess he can study. Build a biolab here. Cool. Alright, back to building everything. That is the thing, just like in Eve, after victory there is bureaucracy. And in this case we have gone through here and built all of this cool stuff. And having now built all this cool stuff, in terms of these planets, we've got to fill in and basically build 1 million mining and mining stations and research stations and etc. etc. Bots and synths yet? We haven't really allowed them from outlaw and give them citizenship. That's interesting. We're not there yet. Stellaris, the ultimate autistic rabbit hole. I can't wait to fall further down. Okay, that's interesting. Why is my science ship over here? Okay, so we really should close our borders to these guys. Our borders are closed. We should close our borders to these guys? This is just weird. Oh, so this is the one planet that these guys have left. There is, in fact, a Bakshiran planets thing. They have one planet left. How the hell is my science ship over here? This is weird. Like, these borders are supposed to be closed. I have no idea how.
Construction complete.
My science ship is in there. Maybe it's because it's a dual-owned thing. These guys are wormholers. That's interesting. Let's see how we're doing in terms of conquest versus all of these guys. The Gralferp. These guys are actually pathetic. The Blessed Dis, inferior. We basically just need to continue researching all the tech we can and then kill everybody. 2 months until genetic modification. Oh, they got the system while my science ship was attempting to survey. That is why that happened. Interesting.
Star system charted. Construction complete.
I could actually just conquer the last of the geckos by taking this. Once my people get off their asses and decide that they like war, I'm supporting this faction, and it's still only at 16% support. That is very disappointing. Turning into a bunch of militaristic assholes turns out to be a lot more complicated in this game than I thought. How is the border open? I'm telling him this is supposed to be. Is there another faction here that I'm just not paying attention to? These guys were rivals. Oh. Yeah, they're the rider. Maybe they're... Don't understand. Let's take a look at our... Oh, it's because we still have a... No, they've got a truce with Gralferp, not with us. It's very confusing. According to this, we haven't closed our borders. Gralferp. These guys are rivals. We're just pausing to be confused as hell. Rivals with like all of these bitches. As well we should be. I'm not rivals with these guys. only have 3 rivals at once. Interesting. Ah, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Construction complete.
I was at war with these guys relatively recently, but I don't really know. Gene tailoring. That's cool. More naval capacity. That's a pretty cheap tech. We'll take it.
Construction complete.
Building lots of things. Okay, I'm confused. I don't remember building a frontier outpost in Samduran. I think I actually slipped and built a frontier outpost in Samduran when I was supposed to build something else, or maybe I got a frontier outpost as an event? Like, what the hell happened? I remember trying to claim this, and I think I must have misclicked and built a frontier outpost here instead of building an actual research station there. That's awkward. It's probably a pretty good frontier outpost because I wouldn't have all of this cool value unless I would have gotten that from Cybrex. That's an interesting oops. Let's take a look over here and build a research station. I guess I'll keep it. I don't really need the influence right now. It's a lot of frontier outposts, though. This one and that one could potentially go if we had enough natural expansion in this area.
Construction complete.
Jerks.
Tile blocker cleared.
That's better. Alright, why don't you come over here? We don't have Epsilon Eridani yet. Whoa. Why don't you just come here? That'll be easier. Yeah. Push the frontier outposts to the front line again and delete the old ones. I think I should do that.
Star system charted.
Some of these frontier outposts are... Like, I forgot... Thank you for the reminder, because I forgot I actually had a frontier outpost in a place where I now have a planet. Let's get rid of that. Do have one down here, and one down here. These are like checks against these guys. Can we terraform this place yet? We can. We have the cash for it. And this is what we want to do. We want to terraform this one because then that can hold this entire line here. Yes. 24. This is a great world. It'll be an even better world when it is. Frozen. A frozen hellscape.
Anomaly found.
Alright, we're chilling and billing.
Construction complete.
To dodge around that automated dreadnought. Let's get a research in Kerbal. I feel like I'm just hitting F5 over and over and over again. Okay, we're headed in the right direction, up to 18%. That's good. Skid marks. Interesting euphemism. Alright, so we're slowly heading in the right direction. Brigand Commerce Exchange. Oh, that's good. These guys are very useful for us because we have more minerals than God, basically. We're going to hit our minerals cap soon. If we're not careful. I'll go ahead and have the construction ship upgrade itself. Claim sanctuary with an outpost so nobody else claims it. That's a good idea. I don't know if you can... Can you actually do that without dying in a fire? How does what? Because there's all of this bad shit that will presumably try to... Oh, I guess I wouldn't actually put the outpost there. I would put the outpost to claim sanctuary right next to it, like in this place. Like so. That is a good idea. I'll do that next. Somebody died! Sucks. Let's get ourselves another scientist. Hey, look at that! It's our first gecko scientist. That's adorable. The geckos live on in our little world. Alright, you can go do your thing. That's a nice planet you got there. Tundra World. Yeah, good call. How does what? So the next thing I'll do with a free construction ship is I'll build a frontier outpost like over here. Get rid of these notifications.
Star system charted. Construction complete.
Have him come over here and build a frontier outpost, which will take our influence down, which is unfortunate. This is a bunch of like gene tweaking. That's just way too much research cost. This is pretty cheap. We don't need that because we're... I think moral codes actually allow us to unlock a different kind of tech down the line. I forgot what it is though. We'll go for this. The geckos are adorable. Mintaki will be proud.
Vessels upgraded.
That's good. So we got a free construction ship available to do stuff. Nothing useful there. There is a mining station right there in Gekium. How much influence are we getting from factions right now? We're not at max from that yet.
Anomaly found.
Okay, leaders are going up. Borders are slowly expanding. We're nearly at our maximum minerals. I'm gonna build some more. Build some more cruisers because I can. Get away with 3 more. Speaking of, let's go check the status on our spaceports because I seem to remember. Okay, this one has actually been upgraded almost all the way. That's good. This is one of our new colonies. Okay, we upgraded to planetary capital, which means that the rest of this colony can stop sucking. We're going to need some power on the sucker. It's building a science lab. We've got the gene clinic. And then our next thing will be here. Actually, our next thing is up here. We don't really need minerals as much as we desperately need power plants. So we're going to do that. Take a little breeze through here, through our planets. One of the challenges with the game is that as you end up with a lot of core sectors, or a lot of core planets, because sectors are a huge pain in the ass, micromanaging planets takes up more and more of your time. There is a mod that one of our viewers suggested last week that allows you to just auto build, and they just automated the planet management. However, I checked the mod out. I went and I downloaded it, and unfortunately, the mod doesn't work currently. Like something got busted in some way. So, well, maybe it'll be patched for the next one, but in the meantime, we suffer through. By and large, our planets are kind of running on rails, though. They're almost maxed out. Our little geckos here. You know what? I might just turn this place into a one big power generation world. It would be better to do that if I had different dudes. The AI really picked a crap planet for us to colonize here, so. Mittens, are you playing a robotic race? Because I heard on Reddit that you love bots. That's cute. Yeah, sectors manage your buildings for you as well, but they're just not very good at it. Right, this one is, in fact, going through there. That's good. Alright, I think we're good.
Construction complete.
Let's see, we could always use more minerals. I tend to be pretty close to the edge when it comes to power because I'm just using as much as I can on mining all the time. I'm worried about my border expansion here. I started doing all this because I literally misclicked and built a frontier outpost, that is, and didn't realize it because my empire is so big. I don't have any sectors active right now. Alright, these fuckers. Migration treaty. Interesting. Special project.
Situation log updated.
Let's take a look at that. Is this a science ship with the... Why don't you research this? You're right there. Thank you.
Construction complete.
Tundra World. That's actually pretty close to us. We could do this.
Project complete.
Brain parasites. Creepy. Okay, so let's get the science ship back on track. So this is an interesting place. We've got a potentially good planet for us to go after here, in addition to wanting to murder the Blessed Dis. Are we on factions? Are we there? We are there. Okay, so we finally reached the faction support that would allow us to support them, but because we started building that frontier outpost... Have we actually done that yet? If I cancel the production of the frontier outpost, do I get the influence back? Because if I do get the influence back after canceling the production of the frontier outpost, then I would be able to immediately change to military. Well, let's find out. Yes. Cancel the production of that. Go to our factions. Now, at last, we should be able to... Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So we're going to have to wait on the sanctuary thing. But now we can also stop promoting the faction because we just changed over there. So now we're going to gain influence, and as soon as we can, we will rebuild the frontier outpost over here. So now, our dudes are militarist fanatic materialists. We have abandoned pacifism, which means that our elements are there, but this also means we can go to war and stomp on motherfuckers. We have no sectors active right now, Sakari. Okay, we have succeeded in making ourselves a bunch of militarists, finally. That is fantastic news, because I hunger for war, coming as a big surprise to absolutely no one. Alright, I want you to go here. You are just going to hang out here for a bit until we get... I want to get rid of this frontier outpost a bit. You're just twiddling. Okay, so now that we're militarists, we
system
can just like
charted.
go to fucking war and kill people, which
Construction
is
complete.
fantastic. Alright, Lorisar actually has a real spaceport like an adult, which is good. We do some more upgrades if we felt like it, but we don't. That's increased our colony limit. Xyrus is building as many cruisers as it can. And with the fact that we're now militarist means that we can literally like start taking out some of our neighbors. Like these guys, who we need to make sure their treaties aren't going to be problematic, but we can just start killing people and conquering them and taking over the galaxy. This whole pesky pacifist nonsense getting in the way. I might actually want to get rid of some of my minerals. We see the energy traders are available to us now, so actually I'm just going to have you go do something else for a moment. You can just go there and wait. And we've hit our food capacity, that's good. Yeah, I think if we're going to be going wide, it's probably time for us to start. We are terraforming that world. How long is it until that's done? Actually, quite a while. What I can do in terms of crazy terraforming crap is I can take my crazy mineral bonus and I can call up the traders over here and trade 2 for 1. I'd like to get some energy credits, and I can just give them 2,000 minerals and get 1,000 energy, which will allow me to go crazy with terraforming shit, and then expanding, which I think I'm going to do now. So let's work on this. Hey, every time they like me more, I have tons of minerals, which means now I get to be rich. And also I don't have to hit my mineral cap, which is good. So we're going to do this. We're going to get ourselves more tech. All of these things are good. We now have a bonus scientist who has got a particle expertise, so we're going to go ahead and go for, research alternatives is nice. We're going to go with this, though. As we get more planets, we're going to be slowing down, which is unfortunate, but that's the way that tall versus wide works. So, that's our habitability. Let's look at size. Another size 24. Again, where's that? That's a good planet. Size 24 continental. This place would be a lot better if it was a hellish Arctic world. Let's do it. So now we have a new channel for success here, is we can expand by using terraforming. Simply by using our incredible mineral wealth to go to the Trader Enclave and turn in 2 for 1, replace minerals with energy. Let me see about this in terms of our borders, though. There might be a place around. You can only terraform things that are within your borders. You usually want to use the biggest planets available, like Abaca. And yeah, Ginnegum is really like a crazy large world that is right where we'd want to do it. So we'll do this. We will turn this place into a arid Arctic hellhole, and then I'm going to get a mod here that will shrink the size of the outliner. There is a mod called like the minify the outliner, which makes life a little bit easier. So we're going to just start leveraging our economic advantage here to reshape the galaxy in our image, and then conquer it in our image, which is all one big delve analogy at the end of the day, I suppose. We are getting towards the end of the stream. We started about 10 minutes late, so I'm going a little bit over the 3 o'clock mark. I try to keep these to be about 2 hours at a go, and then I always save the game and don't play it between sessions. I am a little bit concerned that the 2.0 patch, it is actually 2.0, the cherry patch when it comes out, which is the big expansion we're all excited about for Stellaris. I am a little concerned that that one will break the save game. So where is 1DQ1? 1DQ1, you might have been sarcastic. 1DQ1 is actually a system that we have and own. Let me tell this dude here to go build for the moment. 1DQ1 is right here in Arctic world. With 2 other planets in its system, actually. 1DQ1 could use some upgrades, so I'm glad that you brought that up. Actually, let's go through and upgrade all of our physics labs, because our physics research has been a bit shit compared to things. We have a fair number of physics labs to try to make up for that deficit, and now that we have upgraded... this is a biolab place, though, you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and clear all these blockers, because we can. Actually, we can't, because we're running out of energy now, because we just spent it all terraforming. If only we knew a whole bunch of traders who could just give us all the energy we felt like. Upgrade to planetary administration. This is going to turn into a farm bot territory shortly. I went with a mechanist society, but the only thing that we really use our robots for is farming. I know you can do a lot more with a mechanist kind of place, but the Xyris are both thrifty and industrious, so they're really good at mining, they're really good at making power, so the only thing that's really left for robots is farming. The Xyris do currently everything better than the robots, except for growing plants. Cool. Our shit is legit.
Anomaly found.
I learn every time I watch the stream. Thank you, Wickensinic. I appreciate that. Yeah, droid armies are pretty cool. I need to... What I'm interested in doing is taking some of these systems that we're making and actually specializing by worlds. This is a strategy I was reading about online where you actually just get a world and you have absolutely everything in that place. You just like pave it, and like you ignore the tile bonuses, and like you say, this is going to be a power world, and so you have like one energy grid, and then everything else is a power plant. Okay, we're going to research that. One of our ships, probably up here, yeah, was sucked into a vortex while trying to do research. Let's take a look at these guys. I want to examine what their ships look like. So that's good to know. I thought they were hyperdrive. I'm confirming that. And their tech blows ass. So it's good to know when we conquer these things that they'll have trouble fighting us. Okay, we've got some tech. Battleships! Shit just got real, boys and girls. Shit just got real. We can go backwards and get mass drivers, which would be nice, I guess, for no obvious reason. We can go forwards. Deep space stations. Now, previously I wouldn't want to do this, but I have battleships, and I know that in order to get megastructures, I need to go up the deep space stations route to unlock that, and then later living metal. And now we actually own a Ringworld, which is pretty significant in Cyrex Prime. That's deep within our territory. So we're going to go this route. Void Tech, and between his bonuses and hopefully abilities, they'll go places. And we also can build battleships now. Battleships make good carriers, make better carriers even, yes, as Ninja is pointing out. Yeah, we're totally going to do this. Heavy carrier. We're going to change the name, we're going to have it auto-upgrade, we're going to get rid of the pre-designed version, and we can just be like, hey, check this out. Now carriers, you have an interesting thing here. You can have a carrier and a hangar, which is like a curious battleship design thing. Or you like this. So this is now, our carrier ship looks a little bit weird, but what can you do? So we're going to build this battleship because, frankly, I love playing with the ship designer in Stellaris. And then once that's out of the way, we can probably end the stream on for the day. I might actually be beginning to make the shift to railguns here. Our shields suck. We need to fix that. Afterburners aren't really going to be terribly helpful for this either, but it's just basically just like large slots for everything all the way down. Let's load this sucker up. Let's see what we got here. Get our bombers. So we're at battleships, and we're at battleships way before all the bad guys are at anything. And we have tons of point defense, which will be great when we upgrade to flak. Yeah, we are playing with a full game. So we're going to go with reactors, and we're going to put deflectors everywhere. And then I think because we can, we're going to put the armor on. That's some pretty good armor. It's not the best ship yet because our supporting tech just isn't there, but the fact that we have battleships before anybody else does is hilarious. So like we are now, I'm going to go through and actually do the end of stream review because next time we want to, I like to do an end of stream review because otherwise it's easy to lose your place as in what the hell has happened with the Osiris while we were out. It makes it convenient for YouTube as well. So major changes this time around. We didn't go to war this session, but we have a Ringworld now at Cybrex Alpha. We finished all the research there, and so we have right in the heart of the Osiris Directorate is a ruined Ringworld, but that'll make it a lot easier for us to take. We want to, speaking of Ringworlds, build a frontier outpost in Ebtraban later to cover the territory of Sanctuary, which is another Ringworld, which is a suggestion that was given to me. We have 2 planets that are getting terraformed. We're terraforming Gingin, and we're terraforming Abaka. We're going into a wide empire mode now, so we're just colonizing everything we can. We've made contact with the traders, which is why we have no energy credits, because we're able to trade our mineral production for energy credits and then leverage that into terraforming. And probably the biggest change is that we have shifted to a militarist empire, finally getting rid of the pacifist ethics that were holding us back. So now what are we going to do? Next go round, we're either going to consume the Shabtak because we are getting our supremacy doctrines. This play session we've already gotten 3 of the supremacy doctrines, actually 4 because we started supremacy. Finding the Cybrex homeworld really sort of like jump-started our tradition tech. So we'll probably just take these fuckers out because they're there, and that'll clear up our southern territory. Oh wow, that's a desert world with 25 space. We'll want to take that and terraform it into something icy and hellish. So yeah, that's it. We have battleships, and we are in a much better position than we were before. We've got a lot more planets. We have a gecko scientist. That's kind of nice. So yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching very much. We're going to come back here next Sunday. We do a couple of hours of Stellaris, the continued misadventures of the Osiris Directorate, who are now a bunch of angry militarists in a galaxy surrounded by honor-bound warriors, because for some reason, everybody in this fucking game spawned as honor-bound warriors except for us. So yeah, I have no idea why the game spawned that way, but it did, and here we are. So thanks very much, guys, and we will see you all next week.